Hello, good people. Welcome to the latest episode of the Sim Standard Power Hour. Y'all should have known we was gonna come on tonight. A little late. Apologize for that. Life got in the way, but we're here. We really don't have but one thing to talk about, and that is going to be Madden 25 and franchise mode. The deep dive, the reveal, whatever you want to call it. I have not talked to Smitty about it. Smitty hasn't talked to me about it, so this conversation will be organic. It is interesting though because, well, I'll save it for when we get into that. I have an interesting take on it because I didn't come away with any of what we read in that deep dive when I played the beta. And I'll explain that to you guys when we get there. But real quick, man, I usually ask Smitty if there's anything that he wants to get into before we dive into the main topic. And I will still ask him that. But I do have one small thing I will talk about really quick. Letting everybody know that my camera might cut off. So if it does, I might go off camera for a moment. Forgot that I had shut my computer all the way down and my camera is charged by USB. So, I use an actual camera, a Sony camera. So if it cuts off, then you won't see me. You'll hear me until it charges back up. So just giving y'all that heads up. The only quick thing I want to talk about, Smitty, real quick, and I want to be careful because these topics are touchy, but I just thought I'd share it with y'all, man. I was browsing on Twitter. I still call it Twitter. And I saw that there was an Olympic fight. I forget what country the young lady was from, but she's crying because she quit the boxing match. It was like 40-something seconds in. The reason why she quit is because she was fighting a woman who was born as a natural man. And I just wanted to just speak on it really quick. I'm just going to say a small piece because, again, what people do is what they do. I don't discriminate. I'm not going to go down that road. But I will say this. I don't think that's fair in sports. I really don't. People who were born as male beings and female beings were made differently. Yeah, there are some super strong women. I've known them in my lifetime. There's some super weak guys, right? I've known them too. But the genetic makeup is different. So I don't think it's fair to have those two compete. And that's all I'm going to say. I was curious what some of you guys thought about it, man. I literally just saw it. So that's the only reason why I'm talking about it. Like I said, I'm not going to go deep down the road. I'm not trying to get canceled and all that. I'm just saying it was a very interesting thing. I don't know if you saw it, Smitty. I just happened to click on it. Anything from the Olympics, I just click on it to see what it's about. And this woman, she quit the fight after 40 seconds in, and apparently it's because who she was fighting is someone who's now identifying as a female, but was born a natural born man. And I just don't think that's fair in sports. That's all I'm going to say on it. I'm not going to go deeper than that, but yeah, that was a little interesting. The infamous Tim says, "No, that's insane." In the Olympics, yeah. I don't know, Smitty, if you want to speak on it. Like I said, I'm staying. I'm staying kind of away from it, kind of touching it with a 10-foot pole, but it's interesting.
I saw the little clip. She took 2 punches and then quit. Because I guess the thing of it was, I would assume that she knew going into it that was, a guy. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, well, let me just see. Since we on this grand stage, let me just see. Yeah. And then as soon as she felt them first 2 shots, it was like, yeah, no, I can't. I ain't rocking like that. And see, like, the only thing I would say is that I saw the same thing happen. It was a long time ago, but it was in MMA, and the person's name was Fallon Fox, female fighter. And Yeah, the opponent got manhandled. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yeah. And that's the whole thing about it. It's like, if you're going to even tamper with that, you need to go up against who you are naturally born as. I'll just keep it as that. But that's what it should have been.
And that's all we're gonna say,
That's all I'm
folks.
gonna say
Like I
about
said,
it. Yeah, I ain't going, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I'll just
myself
say
and
that.
Smitty, listen, we don't discriminate against anybody. We don't. I probably can speak for Smitty in this regard because I know that I have, but I'm sure Smitty probably has. I know people at all walks of life. Whatever you could think of, I know people who've done it and identify this way and that way. That's not what I'm saying. I just thought I would mention it because I saw it and was like, I just had a natural feeling to it, like, oh, that's not necessarily fair. But yeah, that's crazy. But anyway, we'll get past that. Wait, so the lady who quit never got hit so hard before. Yeah, that's just an interesting one. So we'll leave it there. I just thought I'd mention it. But now that we're here, let's talk about Madden, shall we?
Yeah.
So, man, Smitty, I don't even know where you want to start, man. I'm gonna bring up the article once I'm done speaking. Maybe I'll even bring up the YouTube video. I want to start off by saying this, and then I want to get Smitty's natural response to it all. Because the reason why I want to let Smitty kick this off is I remember how disappointed Smitty was and upset about us not being able to import draft classes from college football, right? And Smitty said it's going to completely ruin the experience because all this good stuff that you're doing over here, you can't continue it in Madden. And then we both said Madden is going to have to really do something to keep our attention because that feature I mentioned to Smitty, to me, that feature was a Madden thing anyway. It's not going to take away from your NCAA experience, but it affected Madden players more than it affected college football players. Now that the information is out, I'm curious to see where Smitty is going to go with not about that. We still don't like that decision, but I'm just curious to see if what was shown was enough that might keep Smitty's attention, and I'll give you guys my thoughts as well. But I wanted to start it by saying this, then I'll throw it to Smitty. I started to title this show, Did EA or Madden, did the Madden team for one time since I've been going down there, me and Smitty both went to EA Tiburon back in 2012. That was our first time there. We haven't been back in at least 4 years, 4 or 5 years. We had a nice little run. We still affiliate, we still kind of talk to some of the devs and such in the EA Creator Network, but we're not down there like we used to be, right? And this is the first time that I can remember, Smitty, that there's something showing up in a deep dive that didn't necessarily reveal itself in a beta and or someone speaking about said features beforehand. Let me explain to you guys what I mean. Give a shout out to Soft Drink Sports because he kind of called some of this early when he talked about Josh Lumen. And then we played the beta. And we were all like, I mean, unless they got more to show us, we don't see it. And what's interesting about that, folks, is some people would say, okay, well, maybe they're waiting to bust their gun when the game comes out or when they do their deep dive. True, but usually in our experience, when you have a beta that's gameplay and then a week later they give you franchise in the beta, usually that beta represents mostly the features that they want you to know about. Most of the time. This year was different because I felt after playing that beta, ain't enough. Ain't really nothing in there. They didn't have no new scenarios. None of that stuff. I didn't see any new presentation. And here comes all of a sudden on this article, they talking about way more stuff that's supposed to be in franchise mode. So to me, this is interesting because some of this stuff, and I'm sure we'll get into it tonight, some of this stuff I'm a little intrigued by. I will still say though, Smitty, it's going to be kind of difficult for Josh Lumen in this regard. And in case you guys don't know, Josh Lumen was the mastermind behind. I didn't even know this, Smitty. I don't know how I forgot this. Didn't realize that Josh Lumen also worked on franchise. There go my camera, y'all. So I'm going to let it charge for a moment, guys. Then I'll be back. I didn't realize that Josh Lumen had worked on Madden 04's franchise mode. I didn't know that. And I read the article. Well, y'all probably read it too. I didn't know that about him. I thought he more so came around. His claim to fame was more of head coach 09. I didn't really know that he was heavily involved in even those franchise modes that we would say were some of the best that Madden had. That would mean that he was around when the Tony Bruno show was in the game. But I will say that I think it's going to be interesting with this because there's still stuff that doesn't still appear to be in the game that are basic features like contracts, real roster management, front loading, back loading, real extensions. Even though some of these scenarios are going to pop up and you got to do this and do that, but it doesn't appear to be that largely your typical roster management with incentives and all of that stuff is there. I didn't see anything necessarily that's going to be new about free agency in terms of, wooing these guys to keep them. And I understand, they put the motivators and all of that in, motivations and all of that a few years ago. But that's the thing to me that Madden has been guilty of in franchise and gameplay. A lot of times they implement stuff and they don't build on it. So it's still little stuff like that doesn't appear that's going to be touched. But some of this stuff does sound interesting. So, like I said, guys, I'm going to let Smitty kick it off here. I have not heard his thoughts, and this is a perfect segue. It gives my camera some time to charge a little bit. And maybe when it's time for me to talk again, I'll try to flip the camera back on. But so overall, Smitty, man, kind of a recap of what I said. How do you feel about what we both discussed on and offline about, college football, keeping the attention and, the experience that we would have to have in franchise, you playing the beta like myself and not really seeing any changes in franchise, and now reading this article. And like I said, guys, I'll throw up the trailer in a minute and I'll just throw up the article, but attack all of that in whatever order best suits you.
I would say it feel from the time spent on the beta, it definitely feels like they just pulled a bait and switch, potentially. You know what I'm saying? Because it basically felt as if, honestly, we really didn't have much to go on at all. No. To be quite honest. Like, we didn't have this information. This would have been great to have that weekend, excuse me, when they did that blog. But when they did that part of the beta, the second part of the beta, that would have been even better to do. But the thing that I'll give them credit for on paper, excuse me, as I'm reading through, because one thing is I glanced at the article, but I didn't have a chance to fully read it. But just looking at a lot of the stuff here, it feels like we don't have all these elements that are in NCAA or, college football or EACF. Since we don't have that, but we did this. And check this out. Look at these additional details. Now, think about NBA 2K25, right? They just put their information out today. You see how many people are commenting, man, it's the same game,
yeah.
same thing. Y'all added same animation, same. It wouldn't shock me at all to see people share the same sentiment about this stuff put out about Madden 25. Excuse me. Excuse me, especially when you're talking about this franchise mode here, when the scenario engine was supposed to bring all this stuff that we were told years ago. And now, yeah, it's Josh Lumen, but at the same time, back then it was Mike Young. And we was like, yo, Mike Young, that guy. You know what I mean? Oh man, Mike Young, he's spearheading it up too. Oh, this is gonna be crazy. And it never moved anywhere. It just was like a sidestep. Every year was a sidestep. So, with that being said, yes, I have all the belief in the world in Newman, but the difference here is you have a game across the street in college football. You see what I'm saying? And the way that game plays. But excuse me, but you also have a lot of people playing that are playing college football. They're like, oh man, I want Madden. Madden needs to come out. Oh, and that's mainly the online guys to a great degree. Some people offline and some people that play, the game for the simulation aspect and the simulation style, try to authentically play and keep it true to the game instead of cheesing it. And there are some legit core gameplay issues there. But the main thing I'm getting at here, as far as this is concerned here, looking at Madden, it's a lot of quality of life refinement
right
here that while, it may not necessarily win over people and be like, yo, did you see what they did this year? See, it may not necessarily be that. And that's why I made the comparison with 2K25, because you're talking about core gameplay and animations and all that good stuff, and people are they're trashing the game. You know what I'm saying? They're trashing it. And the thing is, the stuff they add could be really good, innovative stuff, but you're trashing it in advance because it doesn't look dramatically different. Like, my intrigue and interest in reading the deep dive blog, like, it wasn't really that intriguing. I really didn't care too much for it.
Yeah.
Because why? Because I'm used to, okay, yeah, we got the commentary teams, and okay, yeah, they added this, and all right, yeah, they're adding that. And it's like, yeah, but y'all talking about the scenario engine, and that thing has been pretty whack. You know what I'm saying? To say the least, it's been whack the whole time. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's been whack. So it's like, now, we got draft night in there. Don't get me wrong. This is stuff that community-wise has been said, like the draft needs to have more oomph to it. And it does. And I'm cool with what they're doing. But my point is, from how you're making it all seem like you got to be mindful of the player personalities. You got to be... It's like you're trying to make this kind of feel like it's Madden 08 franchise mode or 07. You got personality types that you're dealing with and things like that, or how they choose to behave or talk or whatever. And, and you're supposed to... You have to be engaged with your roster to know exactly what's going on and all that stuff. That's what I'm saying. Like, if the game makes me give a care, that's all I'm concerned about at that point. Make me give a care and we good. NCAA has stuff in their game, flaws and all that has stuff that makes me give a care. That wear and tear system makes me give a care. The fact of the matter that when you play games in the rain, it makes me give a care because you actually have player movement is different. The opportunity to fumble, passes getting broke up easier and things like that. All these different things. It's like, yes. And I love it. But are we going to get that in Madden? Give us stuff on the field that we're going to care about, and then we could definitely care about it when it's in Madden. So I don't know. It like that's the thing. This stuff in franchise mode, it has to make me care. Because if I could play through the season and basically just automatic this, automatic that, because there's nothing that's truly going to move the needle for me.
Yeah.
So why should I care? Okay, you have a new UI, right? For when it comes to draft night and everything like that. Okay, cool. You know, I'm all for it. Roster AI and progression. How long have we heard that though?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Like we heard this already. You got the issue. Shout out to Sim Gaming Network. You got the issue that's been pointed out there within college. And the game, they had 3 years of work on it. Now we're not saying that they worked on it literally 3 straight years, but still, you had a lot of time as a dev team to get that simulation engine sorted out. And there's clearly a problem there. So this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm talking about. It's how you deliver, how you execute. That's why, like I said back then, the video I did back then, core gameplay and innovative efficiency, right?
Mm-hmm.
If what you innovate on, it actually hits for the most part. All this stuff, whether it's core, whether it's core gameplay or anything for that matter, like if it's it could be core gameplay, it could be about presentation, audio, any of that. If you talking about how you bringing it like never before or whatever, or we did all this work, we got this lengthy extensive blog to prove it, all right, then that stuff you're talking about, for the most part, number one, it needs to work. Number two, it needs to make sense, because you have a lot of AI parts that are going to be moving around in this. So it's like, make sure that it's on point. If so, oh, well then, yeah, now you cooking. Now we cooking. Now we talking. So, yeah, like, no, come on. You know what I'm saying? So, like, make sure that it's hitting. Make sure that it's hitting. Make sure everything is hitting right. All I's are dotted and T's are crossed to the best of your capability when it comes to these modes. You know what I'm saying? Because the lip service, I mean, I know we got the blog and I know y'all did EA did the video on it, but it's like, still, you still have to we still need to believe. Make us believers. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day. That's what they got to do. I mean, like I said, I like what they're doing. It sounds great. Everything sounds great. But what's happening as far as once everybody's away? Once all this stuff is once the game comes out, and now I'm not everybody's away, but once this article doesn't hold no more weight and the game is out.
Mm-hmm.
Don't contradict. Because the cool thing, like I said, you pulled the wool. The wool was over all of our eyes with this one, EA. Because none of us, I mean, they talked about it. They hinted at some things before the beta, but you guys didn't. No one said that the scenario engine is going to be this much more in depth this year. Nothing indicated that. So for it to be said here, this is what I'm hoping. I really hope that they cross the finish line this time with it. But I mean, like I said, I like it. I like what they're doing in principle, but I have to see it honestly function for me to really believe it. I mean, it's good ideas, but I need to see some functionality. So that's pretty much my take on it. I mean, I like it though. I do like it, but No, just got to prove it.
Yeah, let me see if I can get this camera back on, guys, and I'll give you my quick thoughts. But like Smitty said, man, hold on. Just want to comment on what Smitty said about it's almost like they pulled the wool over your eyes a bit, but the question is still, is that enough wool? What type of wool did they pull over our eyes? Is it the real one from a live sheep, or is it like that little fake wool that used to be on them old jean jackets back in the day? Is it quality? Here's the thing. Like Smitty said, man, and I'm going to stick right here. And it's so funny to hear me being such a stickler with presentation, because Smitty knows I talk about it all the time. I mean, y'all know we're simulation guys first, meaning game and play is the most key aspect. But simulation also means the way the game looks, sounds, feels. I still feel like they dropped the ball on presentation, even just looking at the stuff that they're highlighting, right? Presentation. It says from the smallest grain of turf to the biggest jumbotron in the league, Madden 25 will bring you a leveled up, authentic in-game visual experience. They talk about the art director. And I've noticed too, Smitty, reading this article, there's definitely some devs that we don't know, because that wasn't the art director when we were there. I want to say the art director's name was Gene when we were going down a lot. Gene Adams, I think is who it was. But anyway, it says here's senior art director. So, maybe there are some of the guys that we know, but I don't know Terrence Newell, to cover visual presentation updates, minor tweaks, major overhauls, and everything in between. That word right there, before I even dive into it, major overhauls. To what? What's major? 3D grass and turf. Y'all want to know a secret? I saw a 3D rendering of the field. I think Smitty was there with me that time. This might have been for like Madden 25 when it was going to a new console, and it looked so crazy. I remember Gene telling me this is what we aspire to get to. Dog, when I'm telling y'all the graphics was so crazy, where he even showed us a prototype where certain parts of the field were worn, like this part of the 30-yard line was lighter than this part because more traffic had been over here, like real degradation. I ain't seen that yet. So miss me with the 3D grass. It looks phenomenal, but they had it before. You even heard the people who went down to EA, like the E-Rays and those guys, you even heard them say, yeah, they brought back things like 3D grass. We've seen it before. The lab is the new home for the practice mode in many games. Practice mode is the most frequented environment in our game, so we owed it to you to make it as visually immersive as possible. In Madden 25, the practice environment is completely new. Now, for you guys that played the beta, what looked new about it? Right? So now I'm going to hang on to this article when they talk about things being completely new. See the quote fingers? Overhaul, because we didn't see it. Now, again, they might have, purposely pulled the wool over your eyes, but these are the things I'm going to be looking for. But here's also what I want to say about practice. I'm going to kind of conflate two issues. Y'all know I've been saying for years that practice needs to mean something. Maybe you make it a setting that you can cut on and off. But if you want a hardcore simulation experience, similar to in college football, you know how you can turn off wear and tear? I would love to see practice be something like that. And for those who don't want it to be so detailed, they can turn it off. Practice should mean something. If I don't practice, let's say I'm in a 32-man league and I choose to skip practice, there shouldn't be no simulate option. There should be a consequence for me not practicing. Again, if I want the full NFL experience, there should be stuff like me and Smitty told y'all before that Kobe told us about years ago what he wanted to do with chemistry. It should be something like that, where if you didn't practice, like imagine having a game plan, right? And I know this is real nerdy. I know. But Some of y'all simulation heads are gonna love it. Imagine us having to really have a game plan for those who want the super immersive experience like Head Coach 09. Let's say we come into the week. I'm playing Smitty this week, right? I got to play the Lions. And I think I look at Smitty, I observe his team. I can go look at what they did last week. Oh, I forget the kid's name, Smitty, the running back that y'all drafted early. Gibbs, right?
Yeah.
He going crazy. Dang, man, Smitty running the ball. All right, this is my game plan. And what if I have to stick to that game plan for the most part, but then I can make halftime adjustments? Boy, I'm about to go into so many directions here, Smitty. Ideas are coming to my head because it's something that me and Smitty have said, and Sim Gaming Network has said it as well. It's so many features that they have right in the game if they would just flush it out. So they got those little adjustments. Imagine if they flesh that out. So I come up with a game plan, and at halftime I can make adjustments based off of what I'm seeing in the game, but real adjustments, right? But when I come into the game, that game plan is what I have, like they do in the real NFL. But if I chose not to practice, things are going to fall apart. My guys they hot routes, they don't know none of this stuff because we didn't practice. Because we say we want an immersive experience even off the field, right? So imagine if there was a mode like that where everything matters. You literally have to practice before each game. And that's where I'm going with this. Yeah, this might be a new visual environment, but when is this stuff going to matter? When am I going to be penalized as a guy who claims to be simulation for skipping stuff? So that's one thing there. Let's look at the rest of this presentation. Oh, Gillette Stadium. Okay. Shadows and lighting. Again, something Smitty agrees with. We've heard this type of stuff for years. Mm-hmm. We've seen three, I think, console generations.
Yeah.
Madden 25 in-game stadium lighting is more accurate than ever before. You'll notice realistic shadows on the field, making the games pop visually in a way we haven't seen yet. Okay, so what about for my weather heads? Where's the dynamic weather? Even with shading and lights. Where is it when, it's the fall, right? What happened to progressive lighting? 4:30 game, and then the game is over at 7-something and it's dark. I don't even think we see that no more. I haven't noticed it in college football. Nope. See what I'm saying?
We had that.
We had it. We had it.
We had it. It was there. See, let me say a few things. I just want to say while I'm thinking about it real quick. You talk about the field degradation happening on PS4, where you run over the field over and over again. The funny thing is that they had that in Madden 07 on, what was next gen at that point on 360. Because I remember I was playing in the practice mode and I was running the same plays over and over. My receiver was running a divot in the route based off of the route that he was taking. He was running smash route concept, and he kept it was like the middle of the field was messed. That portion of the field where we was at around the 50 was messed up because everybody was there, but you specifically saw that route line because he kept running that same route over and over. I kept running the same play like 8, 9, 10 times. You saw the route,
and
it stayed there. So to say that, to say that, like it's never been there or we're still waiting on it, it was already there though. You know what I mean? They had it before, and now watch it be reintroduced at some point as if it's brand new. I mean, it's appreciated. Don't get me wrong. It would be appreciated to have. That's not what we're getting at. But the problem is that it's already been there. Now, if you're doing something bigger and better than ever before, because I can say this. If it's rained in a game and it was earlier in the day and then it gets later in the evening, it's still raining. I would love to see it go from sunny to possibly raining in the middle of the game. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, really see a dynamic shift at times happen in weather, especially depending upon what city you're playing in. Like, how are they reputable in terms of weather when you go to this city? You know what I mean? And have that tendency in the game. See, Madden should have that ticky-tack kind of stuff in the game. It should be there now. That's why people say 2K ain't done nothing. What they're doing with the pro play, I think it is, the animations or whatever, what they're doing is really nice. They're even getting it down to the player, how they step or whatever when it comes to doing step backs and dribbles and all. Like, they're getting more and more intricate with it, and people are like, oh man, whatever, man, it's the same game. See, that's what I'm talking about. They've been spoiled. Like I made the point back then. It's like they've been spoiled going to the Hamptons. To somebody that ain't never been there before, it's like, yo, this is the Hamptons, dog. This is crazy.
Yeah, right.
2K people, y'all been there 50 billion times already. Man, they ain't done nothing. Yeah, all right. You see what I'm saying? So this is what I'm saying. Like, Madden, field conditions, weather conditions shifting, all that kind of stuff. We should have that stuff already. It should be built off of and expanded upon. It should just be in the game now. But it's it's not there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man. It just doesn't, like I said, from looking at the blog, I want to see what they do. Because I'll say this too. FIFA had all their things consistent. Audio, field integrity, all that kind of stuff. They had it. And they ain't never lost it. So I don't understand how you complaining. I don't understand how come Madden can't do it. How come FIFA's able to do it, but Madden can't? Like, I don't understand. I'll never understand that part. And it was already done in Madden before. If you're using the same engine, well, how come you just can't build that on, continue building on? I mean, I know that's kind of hindsight 2020 now, but I'm just saying though, I don't get it. Why not just build on that system and have it be a legitimate thing in the game as an impactful element? Because not having a wear and tear system. And when we're reading this blog, I really can't say it because once again, this stuff is more menu centric kind of stuff you're talking about. Oh, hey, before the game, button press, button press, button press, button press, and there's no stakes in it. What's going to happen? What dramatically will happen with these players, whether I make them happy or not? What's going to happen?
That's the thing. How are these things going to be reflected? Like, it kind of goes off of what Sim Gaming Network is saying. He said that didn't really get any new information. I mean, the information from the blog where I'm conflicted is all of these storylines, right? And here's the number one question. All of the stuff that they are saying that could possibly happen in the storyline sounds great. But how do you reflect it in the game if you don't have the feature to support it? Let me explain what I'm saying. One of them said that something about contracts or demanding a trade and yada, yada, yada. Yeah, but are you going to have the tools to give bonuses and incentives unless they have completely changed the way you do your contract? So how are these storylines that sound solid, how are they going to affect features that are not in the game? You understand what I'm saying, guys? Like, hold on, let me find one of these storylines. One of them caught my eye, and I was like, wait a minute. How they gonna pull that off if they don't have the feature to support it? Where was it, man? And team builder that's interesting. People have been waiting to create a team for a long time. That's cool. But of course, if they should have been able to do that easily because college football has it.
Yeah, that's an olive branch. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That's an olive branch thing. That's not a tree stump soil. You know what I mean? Like it ain't the deep rooted soil. So it's like, okay.
Oh, look, here go one. And this is a totally different topic, but I'm gonna just give this example. It says in one of our storylines, you'll have a player who shows up to training camp out of shape. How you react and the choices you make will have a different impact based on your player's personality type. Push the right buttons. You'll motivate him to play better than he normally would for the first 3 weeks of the season. Say the wrong thing, and he'll start the year out of shape. Okay. There's a couple questions I have here.
Yeah.
How are we demonstrating that?
Right.
If he remains out of shape, is it just, he loses -4 in speed? Or because again, like Smitty said earlier, there's no wear and tear. And I know they're not the same, but you kind of see where I'm going, guys. At least with wear and tear, there's a body illustration, and you don't even have that in Madden. So how am I to know that this dude is out of shape? Other than, like I said, I guess he loses. What is the effect of him not being in shape? That's the question. What feature do we have in franchise mode that supports that? Again, EA, if you're listening, y'all always know we give it to you raw and uncut. This is how we give our feedback. I'm supporting all of this. The storylines sound great. I just have questions because the features are not there to support it. There was another one. This one here. Now, gameplay might support this. It says, another one of my favorites is when your players point out weaknesses in the opposing team as you're meeting during a strategy session. You get to choose how to attack that weakness and the level of risk you're willing to commit to. If you are successful during the game, your defense will earn their reward for exploiting their opponent's weakness. Sounds phenomenal. That sounds like football. However, like we saw in the beta, again, maybe the wool is still being pulled over our eyes, and we're gonna see something totally different. But to my knowledge, the game prep was the exact same. That's not changed, or the scenario is either gonna say it's probably gonna be just text that says, "Hold this team is weak against the run. Rush for 200 yards, and you get a boost."
Yeah.
That ain't it, man. The idea is cool, but that's what we're saying. I don't want the scenario system solely to, you know what I mean? Just be a text game.
That's why we didn't feel there was a difference when we played the beta, because it was the same thing. Do this, and you get plus this.
Yeah,
don't do it and you get minus that. And it's like,
Yeah, I don't like.
Just had a thought. This is an NBA 2K as well. Been there. I remember playing franchise one year, my league or whatever, and I'm like, I want to actually develop a legit post game with Andre Drummond. So you could go into the sliders, and over the course of the season, you could allocate points as far as what do you want him to work on. I want him to work on his post game. I want him to get a little mid-range jump shot to a degree, and I want him to work on his free throws. So his converting percentage. And it's crazy you have that going during the season that your coaching staff is going to work on them with. Why can't we have strength and conditioning as some kind of measurement stick? Hey, so and so's out of shape. All right, bet. So this would be some NFL 2K5 kind of stuff. You can set the sliders for what you want him to focus on, especially for the next few weeks. If dude is out of shape and he's coming to me saying he's out of shape, why would I start him? Why would I be giving him reps when there's nothing else I can do to help get him in prime position to perform? I can't have him do weightlifting drills. I can't have him do sprints like, the mini games and stuff. Like, I can't have him do that, and then that's going to get him right quicker. I don't have anything to do that other than just what the stipulation says, and that's it. So, yeah, it sounds good, but see, what I'm talking about, Sim, is where's the stakes?
Yeah.
There's no stakes at all with it being like this. It's just basically Q&A. It's just advanced Q&A. Hey, coach, basically question, answer, question, answer, question, answer. You pick the right answer or you pick the negative answer. Whichever one, and then you live with the decision based upon how the game plays. It's not going to be because of him. So that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm just saying.
Like I said, man, and me and Smitty are in the same crowds. SGN is in the same crowd. A lot of you guys watching might be in the same crowd.
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting to realize I know some of these things are niche, but I don't want to accept that from a simulation sports game. And this is the reason why I say that. I'll take 2K for example. Now, 2K, I can't say that it's not a perfect game. I'm just talking about all of to quote our buddy from back in the day, mad scientists used to always say, you find your fishbowl and swim in it. 2K basketball, NBA 2K has 1,000 fishbowls. However you want to play, they got it. If you playing in my NBA or my league, what it was, the depth that's in there, like if you want to get that deep, even with just coach stuff and redesigning their play, it's there. Like having the 10-day contracts and all, it's there. Front load, back load, like, and that's the thing. I think a lot of us hardcore franchise guys are upset at the fact that we don't have stuff that are necessities. I feel like when you're trying to replicate what happens in training camp, just right now for my Pittsburgh Steelers, because Russell Wilson hasn't taken the field yet. They already talking about Justin Fields looking good. He could be QB1. It's going to be a competition. There is none of that. However, they did say position battles was in college football. Have anybody seen that yet? You seen that?
No, I haven't came across that yet.
I haven't either. So it's the stuff like that, y'all. It's like the way we prep for the week is still the same. Like I think what they should be leaning towards is trying to make it as authentic as possible. I won't say realistic, because I've come to the conclusion as well. There's no way to properly, realistically replicate the real world. It's impossible. It's impossible. That's why you have upsets in the NCAA tournament every year. You can't say that just because this team is ranked number 1, they're going to win. No. And we all have done that as football fans, because I see people doing it with college football. Oh, man, this ain't real. And yes, some of that real life stuff is not cute. The missed tackles, the blown coverage. We see it every Saturday, Sunday, Thursday, Monday. But, we still have a gaming mentality. Largely, people still have a game mentality. Like, when do you accept that? Nah, dudes do kind of tackle like that in college sometimes. Because I don't have a huge tackle issue when I play the game, and I'm playing on Heisman. Oh, by the way, sidebar. SGN, using your slider set, and I tweaked a couple little things gameplay-wise as far as, so I put it on Heisman because I know you said your set works on both. I tried Heisman. I turned down interceptions to 35, QB accuracy to 25. That's the only thing I changed. Because if you guys have seen SGN set, Heisman or All-American, there's no changes to the gameplay. Like, and I'm talking about the QB accuracy, blocking, tackle, nothing. He does something else that gets good gameplay. So I'm using your set, Heisman, and I've only changed those things, and oh my Lord. Boy, I have been in some dog fights, sweating bullets. Like, boy, luckily, what am I? 2-1, I think. I will be streaming soon, guys. I've been away a couple days, but I'm coming back. We started season 2, but let me tell you, and my team ain't the same no more. Running the football, woo. But anyway, it's just, guys, like the basics, man. Position battles. This is stuff we had in the past. 2K5 still had some of the more in-depth prep. And I think Madden might have had some of this stuff too in the past.
Yep.
So how you can decide we're going to watch film or we're going to watch this. It's like we need things like, again, Josh Lumen, I'm going to tip my hat to you because I know you for real. I just hope that they let him cook, because all he has to do is dig back in his mind and recall everything that he planned to do when he did head coach 09. That's it. That's all. That's all we need is head coach 09 is your new franchise mode. We good. And then you can build on that if you need to. But just think about that. Some of y'all never played the game. Go watch some people play it on YouTube. That's it. And that's what we're saying, folks. We're nerds when it comes to that, the simulation stuff. I want as much stuff to do off the field as on the field. And I want that stuff to reflect. If I don't do this right, then I pay for it. I don't practice. There's no chemistry between my players. I keep putting somebody out there nursing an injury. The RG3, you remember that playoff game when Shanahan put him out there? Ended the boy career, in my opinion. He won't the same after that. I want that, and we don't have it, dog. But we'll see. We'll see.
Sim played, I've streamed a game or two of my dynasty. I subbed my tight end out the game because he took a hit on his leg, and they were like, the impact of it is high. The injury risk is high. And I'm over here like, whoa, hold on. Let me take him out of here and get somebody else in there. See, and it's like you got to compensate for that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a big deal. I put him out before he got legit took out.
Yeah.
But that's stuff you got to do, though. You got to do that in the game, man. And it's like, see, that's where the stakes come in at. And that's what we're talking about. There's no real stakes. You know what I'm saying? There's no real stakes. There's no real cost of admission. You just go. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, but I will say, now I'm not playing on Heisman, but from SGN settings, yes. And the way he does it, yes. You know what I mean? I had to come back. I was down 21-7. Then they go up 28-14. It was the last stream that I did. It went 28-14. Then had to take it. I ended up tying up the score, took it to overtime. We got the first possession, scored on that possession, and then we picked them off to win the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. And it was intense because I was focusing on the game and everything. Like, yo, this is tough. But the thing is, the reason why I'm into it, it's not because NCAA been gone for 11 years. It's because they got a legit game on their hands. And they have modes that make me care.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it makes me care. Madden doesn't make me care. Even with that blog, it doesn't make me care. You got to make us care. You know what I mean? Like, give us reasons, give us stakes, give us, the system management, mechanisms necessary. Like, add some intricate details that pertain to the sport directly. Add some of that stuff in there. You know what I'm saying? That pertains to the stakes portion. I mean, adding the stakes, making it tough for us so that way we have to, we have to we should feel challenged. We should feel like, dang, they did what? Oh man, dang, how are we gonna overcome those odds? Man, this is tough because blah 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 blah. Like, Sim could have his starting QB go down, right? He could have his ace could be his like who, because you're on year 2 now, so I know your squad switched up a little bit.
Oh man,
you know what I'm saying? But the thing is, whoever your aces are, you gotta lean on them. You see what I'm saying? And the thing is, that wear and tear system
is real.
you can only do it so much because you look, dude. My star halfback. When I was playing before, I look at him, I'm like, dang, my man is getting his tail tattooed. Chest hurt, shoulder hurt, ankle hurts, this hurts, that hurt, all this stuff hurt. So it's like, man, and this is why I'm saying, even with NCAA, this is why we need mass substitutions.
Yeah.
This is also why, like we need to have a better roster management system across the board. You know what I'm saying? Like, when it comes to what players you want position where and everything like that, or whatever. Like, if you got particular guys and you want it to be set throughout in an easy way, there needs to be a more accessibly easier way to do it when you're playing, while you're building your franchise. But the whole point of the matter is that, NCAA, it's EA college football. It actually makes me care. It makes me give a care. And that's all I'm saying. That's all I want. That's all I want the game to do, is make me give a care to some degree. And I'm good with the way the game is. I'm cool with that. But no, man. They gotta execute it, bro. And that's what I'm saying. This franchise mode, I don't know, bro. It sounds good. It sounds great on paper, though. It sounds great.
This area right here, guys, just storylines, breakouts, all of this part right here that I'm showing sounds good. I just want to know how they're going to pull it off.
Right.
How? Because like this right here, contract extension negotiations, trade demands. You'll influence off-season workouts and help players through slumps or historic seasons. How?
Exactly.
Think about what's going on right now with Brandon Ayuk. Think about that. Everybody is saying, the Steelers Nation, to swear every player is coming to Pittsburgh. I keep telling them they're not paying no receiver all that money. If they do, I would be surprised. But think about that. Brandon is either going to get his extension with the Niners, or him and his agent are going to do one of those wink deals. Listen, trade and sign.
Yeah.
Can't do that in Madden. This is what we're saying. And that stuff there sounds like negotiations. And how is all of that going to work? Because the systems appear to be the same. So unless they have done like they did here, verbally and visually, pulled the wool over our eyes, unless they have done the same thing with the systems, I just don't understand how you're going to pull it off to where the features in the game can support these scenarios. But it all sounds good. I just don't. I don't know, man. And like Smitty said, I think Smitty summed it up perfect. It's a lot of quality of life improvements, which is always great. The storyline stuff sounds good. Team builder for those of you that are interested with that. But if I'm being honest, man, people care about the NFL because they like their NFL team. I mean, I'm probably not going to utilize team builder. It would be great for content creators because I was thinking about it, and I might think about it doing a dynasty with that too. But now I've shifted my focus in my dynasty, Smitty. Now I want to get my D coordinator a head coaching job and take over the next team.
Okay.
That's probably the story. Not to give too much of my story, but that's probably where I'm going with it. We'll see. But yeah, team building ain't for me. Because like I said, you playing with the NFL team because of you play with your favorite team or you play with some of your favorite players on another team. Like some people be like, oh, it'd be cool to rebuild the Rams or whatever. But it's players that you know that gets you excited. It's not a team builder thing. Like I don't think many people would. I don't want to say that, but y'all understand what I'm saying. Most of y'all watching tonight, that's probably not going to be your wheelhouse, but I'm glad it's there.
Right.
Scouting revisions. Like, are we going to see this stuff? I'm going to give it a chance. The stuff that they're advertising, all I'm saying is it looks like the core systems in franchise were the exact same. So how do you support all of these things other than tuning fixes?
Right.
And my last pet peeve, man, and then I had so many places I wanted to go, but I'm going to save some of it because we're going to be talking about this stuff as we see more and more. Presentation. It's clear to me that EA football, their definition of presentation is different from what I envision. Presentation is, first of all, pregame, perhaps, halftime, postgame, not just stat overlays. I want to see a package.
Yeah.
I don't want to cut on Madden 25 like we did with the beta, and it's some of the same cutscene.
Yeah.
I mean, identical. There go my camera again. I mean, identical. And yeah, you throw some new stat overlays in there. Okay, cool, but I want to see a different presentation. Something fresh. I've been telling EA for years, there's ways that you can cheat, man, and make us think we see it. Just make us think we see it something different. They're not even giving a fresh coat of paint at this point. Like, come on, man. By now, you should have been able to come up with an EA Sports game broadcast package. Like your own thing. It's ridiculous. I mean, and again, college football is kind of the same way, but there's so many teams. And because even the cutscenes in college football are a little more engaging because you got the bands and all that. I mean, you can stomach that more, but with Madden, it's like the same thing over and over. And it's like, come on. But I do believe that Josh Lumen wants this game to feel alive. So I'm going to trust him. Like I told you guys, he's one of those guys, man, that, from eventually meeting him and just knowing his vision and knowing that this was a guy who built head coach 09. I trust in what he wants to do. I do. I just don't. I'm hoping that the revival of college football and the success that it's having already. Like, I don't know if y'all saw that article about the number of users and financials. And I hope that finally triggers the suits at EA to say, okay, we got to go balls to the wall with Madden also. Like, create that ultimate experience. Why do you sit there and let those cats across the way, speaking of 2K, even though it's football versus basketball, and I'm not going to compare the two, I'm just talking about effort. I'm not going to keep letting another sports company that's, competition in a way, continue to get all of the shine for all of the depth and all of the bells and whistles. And I'm not going to let them keep doing that. And again, a lot of 2K players, my man Freddie G in here right now, a lot of hardcore 2K guys have a lot to complain about with 2K. They do. A lot. It might shock you how much because what Freddie was saying here, I didn't even really realize that. Because, I play 2K here and there. I'm just not I love basketball. I'm just not the basketball dude. You know what I'm saying? So I'll pick it up and play it and all of that. But he was saying that the CPU AI sucks in 2K. They don't know how to dribble or attack. And see, I didn't know all of that because I don't play it extensively like that. But at least what 2K does have from the naked eye is almost any option that you're trying to do or pull off, you can do in the game. You can attempt to be as sim as you want to be. You can customize that thing to the umpteenth power. And that's why I have to applaud 2K and Take-Two Interactive, man, is because they have so many aspects of that game that people can enjoy. From being extremely arcade to having a simulation experience, the presentation, the depth, the Jabberwockies. It's just, they got everything. And I just, I'm hoping, like I said, I don't want this to turn into a negative rant about Madden. Is just that, seeing the resurgence. What you say, Smitty?
I say it's spitting facts. It ain't
we kicking it real.
If the game across the street, right? 25, okay. All right, yeah. All right, bet. 25 think about this. NBA 2K. This is their 25th year. This is 25, right? If I'm not mistaken, right? 2K25. No, not their 25th game. Excuse me. I'm sorry, 2K25. But this is a milestone game, though, for them.
Yeah.
Madden's you've been past 25 years. And you playing catch up to these guys.
Yeah.
You still playing catch up to 2004 NFL 2K5. All pro football with presentation still. And I know we talked about that before. But presentation still. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah, man.
So I mean, I get it, but yeah. What Sim is saying, it's the 26th game. Okay, so what I'm just saying though, to what Sim's point, I'm just saying, like, what we're saying is this: while people say lather, rinse, repeat with 2K in their basketball title, that's a bold-faced lie at the end of the day, because you can clearly see and you're going to feel the differences.
Yeah.
Madden, we say the same thing about Madden. We made that point before him. Sim really, he was the main one that said it too. Was like, bruh, these games are not going to get that much better. Like, you're going to see stuff here and there, but it's going to be a lot more of hands-on play.
Yeah.
And this is how it is versus, oh man, you know what? Man, it's just gonna be buck wild and crazy just because. And when I play, it's gonna be like, no. It's not gonna be like that. Because that's not how it works with Madden. Like, it's not going to be this, they gotta blow my mind with. No, you gotta play it. Because while yes, you'll see some animations, and the way it moves and stuff, it feels is gonna be a little bit different here and there. but that's not going to be the end all be all. It's not going to operate that way. I'm telling you, it's got to be something you got to get your hands on, because the visual fidelity is only going to go so far. And like we told you, hearing it from devs even, and reading up on this in the past, usually development teams, they don't usually get fully hip to the way that a console works until basically it's the end of that cycle.
Yeah.
It's gone. It's over. And now they got to move over to the next console and start all over again. We're getting used to that. So he said, "What? Imagine playing 2K5 and Madden 05, and you can't wait to see what football." I know, and that's the craziest part about it, Freddie. That's literally it, bro. And I said it before, and I'll say it again. I know we got to get out of here because it's, I know, but even though we did start late, but still, I remember when EA, see, this is how great EA's reputation was in my eyes back then.
Yeah. Go ahead, speak. I know where you going.
When they got the exclusive rights, and yes, there was a screenshot on IGN or GameSpot back then, NFL 2K6. I'm like, oh man, I can't wait. And then they yanked it off. When they said EA exclusive rights, they got exclusive rights for that. They got exclusive rights for Arena League football. They got the ESPN license. When I saw all that, and I played the Arena League game, it wasn't that bad. It based off of Madden to a degree, but it wasn't that bad. But my whole thing was, and the next generation, 360 and all that was going to be coming. So I'm like, I can't wait for EA to take it, because they got all this licensing and they're going to be the main one out there. Oh man, this is about to be crazy. I was up here thinking like, man, freaking Madden 06 is going to be loaded. You know what I'm saying? And if it's not, the next year it's going to be Buckwater Creek. I'm up here thinking, all right, we're going to be able to franchise mode. You're going to be looking at NFL Europe. You're going to be looking at the Arena League scouting players. You're going to be importing your players in from the NCAA, bringing them in there too. And man,
yep.
And what we actually got, that, bro. So like when you seen Sim run out and buy the he ain't the only one. Many people did the same freaking thing. I was gonna do the same thing.
That joint said next generation. And again, Smitty is talking from people who've been around the block.
Yeah.
And at that time, like he said, I remember trying to find games that could measure up. And I was like, oh man, 2K5 might have it because of overall presentation.
Yeah.
But I tell a story all the time. I went back to Madden 05 because I liked the gameplay better. I liked the player movement better back then. So nobody could have made me ever believe that was the era when we were asking ourselves, man, what they going to do next year? I can't wait.
Exactly.
And I see a trailer that says Madden NFL Next Gen. And I said, oh my word. Even though, was it CGI? Sure. But again, at that time, I didn't know it was the fake me out. I thought it was based, you know what I mean? Like, I'm thinking it's like, look, this is that's gonna be done. Now maybe we, modified it to create this footage. Obviously, it was scripted. But I'm like, oh, it's gonna look like that. Look at the snow. Oh man, look at how they grunting and it never came, bro.
Never came. Not even
the
close.
RG3 trailer for Madden 25.
Oh.
Do y'all remember it was 2 trailers? Do y'all remember the one when he came to the line and he was pointing out, The mic is right there. Da, 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 and the crowd. Do y'all remember that one?
Mm-hmm.
We have yet to see a game that kind of does that. Now, yeah, do they audible and stuff now? Definitely in college football and in the Madden beta. Oh, and I will say this in closing. Yes, I saw somebody say it earlier. The Madden 25 gameplay. Yeah, I enjoyed that beta. So don't get it twisted. If you like the gameplay in college football, you should enjoy Madden 25's gameplay if it holds true to what was in the beta. Because just like somebody in the comments here said, I've been saying this too. I think Madden 25 was more physical in terms of how physics are respected. And I told you guys, I don't know if I said it here on the show, Smitty, but I'll say it now so I don't forget. Mm-hmm. I did get it confirmed by a dev. Actually, I spoke to OG and I asked him, I said, yo, what y'all do with physics in college football? Because I know y'all don't have boom tech, but the college football is pretty physical in terms of, the people being able to continuous hit, and you don't see any freakish, weird looking moments. You might see one here or there, but it's very sticky. Like they have the double hit tackles, and it appears to be respecting physics very well. He said, "Oh, well, we just basically like super cleaned up what we already had." I said, "Oh, so it's basically a next level version of what we saw in Madden 24. That's basically all it is." He said they removed a lot of the snatch, like guys getting snatched into the tackle and suction, and you don't see it. You don't see. I mean, I have yet to see a real suction type play in college football. So that's the story. If anybody was wondering, he said it's basically a super duper cleaned up version of basically the physics engine that you see in Madden 24 is what we're playing in college 25. But Madden, that boom tech, yeah, I guarantee y'all gonna see that. Mm-hmm. You're gonna notice it. Like I guarantee you that if you play the games like I play the game, you're definitely gonna notice, oh yeah, they did something different here.
Yeah, most definitely. But that's cool though. That's cool though that it is cleaned up. See, furthermore, I want to see NCAA. That this lands, like you said before, Sim, about NCAA and Madden getting on the exact same development track. Mm-hmm. Because I want to see whatever 2.0 is. Okay, they got Boom Tech. They got a name for it. Okay, they got Boom Tech. I want to see Boom Tech 2.0 on both games next year.
Yes.
I want to see, okay, NCAA got wear and tear. I want to see wear and tear 2.0 on both games.
Yes.
Next year. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, of course, other intricate details as far as what keeps people's attention in their franchise modes respectively. Dynasty for college, franchise mode for, for the Madden. And I want to see it. Like, I want to see those elements kind of not be the exact same. Obviously, they're not going to be the exact same, but kind of bleed into each other to a degree.
Mm-hmm.
So that way, when they make it so you can import the draft classes, you're not missing a beat. You just keep that train rolling. So, but we can only hope for something along that line. So, I mean, but right now though, we just got to see how they execute with this.
And that revamp passing, Madden 26. Come on, man.
Yeah.
That hurt me so bad to know that freeform is in college football. But you have 3 ways to pass in college football: classic, freeform, or the revamp passing. Madden, at least in the beta, did not. So we're going to have to go after doing all of this lovely passing that we do. Because again, you're talking to 2 guys that come from that APF 2K8 school of maximum passing, and it's just left analog.
Oh,
that's what revamped passing is, guys. If you want to be real, that's what myself and Smitty have been asking for this for years.
Yeah.
And now we have it. So when I choose to play Madden, I got to go back to the now holding left, L2. Not to say I hate freeform. Freeform is dope, but I like revamp passing better.
Oh yeah,
much better.
Yeah,
you just have to get used to that button sensitivity. But to not have that in Madden, man, come on, man. I just don't. I don't.
And y'all in the same building.
Same building.
Yeah.
So the only thing I don't like about free band passing is the CPU doesn't utilize it. They only throw. Oh, actually, hold on. Let me check something, y'all, because I checked on that. I sent somebody a question. I haven't gotten a response yet. I'll let y'all know when I get a response, because I do want to know that whether or not the CPU has the ability to use it, because the CPU uses everything else. They utilize, I did find out they utilize defensive shells, of course, and yours work against them. I confirmed that. The CPU run game, I mean, like Division, they are cut. Oh my Lord, man! I wish I recorded this video. The game I played yesterday, I think I might have a piece of it, but I wasn't at home, so I didn't. If I recorded it, I had to use the internal recorder. But the running back I was playing against was their impact player. This dude was making us look silly. I mean, the vision, the spin move, the cutback, yeah, I'm liking it, man. I'm liking it. College football, I'll just say that I'm having a ton of fun with that game, man. I really am. I know people have their issues with it too, but I'm having a great time playing that game.
Oh yeah.
So, but guys, that is all we have for tonight. To put a bow on it, listen, everything sounds great from what they have done in franchise. There's still a ton of things that I think are core things that are not there. And ultimately it comes down to how it's gonna perform. How are these storylines and all of these different storylines with the scenario engine? How is it gonna work? What does this new practice mode environment look like? The lab and all of that. And how is it all going to work? How is it all tied together? And will it keep our attention? That is the ultimate question.
Yeah.
But all right, good people. We're going to get on out of here, man. We appreciate y'all tuning in. Sorry that we were late, but we're trying our best to make sure we have a show at least most Thursdays. And when we don't, just if we don't, just understand something came up. If we'll try to tweet it or just understand life happened. But this is our time now. It's football season is back, gaming is back.
Yeah.
We should be making quite a few Sim Standard Power Hours going forward. So
yeah. No
but
doubt.
all right, guys, appreciate it, man. Y'all be safe. God bless. Good night. Subscribe to Smitty's channel. Subscribe to this channel. Hit a like on this video. Support us. And we'll catch you guys next time.
Yeah.
Peace.
Peace.